So if you've been following our channel for over the last 2 years, I was one of those people that ended up getting evicted through COVID. It wasn't a money situation. It was literally the landlord just wanted their home back and they wanted to put it on the market and sell it because they were unsure of what was going to happen. And I got put in a situation where I was forced to leave.
Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't checked us out on Instagram or Facebook, make sure to do so. We also have the $2.99 membership where there's over 115 growers ready and willing to assist you through your growing practices. If that's not enough, make sure to check out the VIP one-on-one down below on the description.
Make sure to hit the join button on the bottom of every video. Lo and behold, because I'm a renter and I wanted to get a garden going, was it there for about 6 years, I ended up buying about $2,000 or $3,000 worth of soil. And when I left, I definitely was not going to leave my soil behind. So I filled up all my pots and filled up the storage container, and pretty much my soil has been sitting for the last 2 years. So I pulled it finally out of storage and I got it back here, hauling it back. And just like before, some of the first things I did was I started to plan out my garden this year. From when I was going to neat my soil, to what my garden was going to look like this year, what I was going to amend it with. And lo and behold, I was very fortunate enough to actually get some really awesome products from Pit Moss. We've been talking about this product for a while, and some of the reasons why I'll actually be using this product this year is because a lot of my soil is very hard, and it's very hard. It's not as soft as I'd like it to be. So a lot of my soil this year, I know I've moved it around quite a bit, but it does get really compact fairly quickly. And that's obviously because there's not a lot of organic matter in the soil. So one of the products I was really excited to bring in was Pit Moss. One of the reasons why I'm going to love using this product, and if you haven't seen the other videos on this product, it's basically paper that's been shredded and just pulverized. I'll make sure obviously to show you what it looks like after we crack these boxes open. But I'm going to be taking this Pit Moss and I'll be mixing in with my soil. In addition, I'll be mixing in my Pit Moss actually with my dry amendments first. Because of the law of density, and where basically just smaller things will just keep settling if it's heavier. One of the biggest issues with dry amendments is that it settles to the bottom, even in your soil, as you water it down. What I actually want to do this year is I actually want to mix my dry amendments with Pit Moss before I mix it into my soil. The reason why I want to do that is because hopefully those dry amendments will be sticking to that paper, and as that paper wicks water in, that Pit Moss is going to be a source for the microbiology. That's why I'll actually be taking our Pit Moss, I'll be mixing it in with some mycorrhizae. This is a new product that was sent out to us. I'm going to be testing to see how well it does, as well as playing around with their veg and their bloom. I'm going to be getting into more in-depth videos about these two products. If you are interested in checking out this nutrient line or their amazing fabric pots, make sure to go to Grassroots, type in PG10 for your discount. This year we're going to be using Pit Moss. We'll be using their fabric pots, which when I pulled these fabric pots out this year, they are absolutely amazing. I'll actually be showing you the internal liners that are going to be helping to retain water. One of our main primary focuses on this channel is always talking about water. I always talk about a product called Drops of Balance, making things water soluble, trace minerals, retention of your water, having fabric pots that just don't dry out, and using nutrients that is going to actually help create an ecosystem for all your microbiology, because that's really where it starts. It starts with your water and it starts with your microbiology. If you can have clean water and good microbes going, I give you my word, your crop will take care of itself throughout the entire growing season. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the back because this year what I really like to do is I actually like to get my pots off the ground. Over the years of just letting them sit on the ground, it really wasn't something I enjoyed doing. So I actually went over, picked up some pots over at my local UPS, because businesses are always trying to get rid of that stuff, and one man's trash is another man's treasure. It is so important to think out your garden, especially if you've never put a garden in for the first time. For me, it's not just about putting in a garden, it's also about just creating a world of tranquility in a sense. You know, to the point where I want to be there every day. I want to have my own domain. And in this situation, I moved out of a home, moved into a one bedroom, finally got out of that situation, and now I'm into a duplex. But the issue about the duplex is I have neighbors and I have an annoying little dog that barks like crazy. And so I just want to block all that stuff out. So when I'm in my garden, I'm able just to enjoy what I'm doing. So as I'm going through setting up my garden, I am actually just going through and thinking about every single thing I want to experience throughout this entire growing season, so that, again, when I'm there, I want to be there. And when I want to be there, that's when I'm going to be able to really grow the garden and grow the food to the best of my ability. Okay, so this is what I got to work with, and you're going to see this. I'm actually going to be using a lot of pots. Obviously, I don't live here. I'm looking to move back into a house, and so what do I got to work with here? Obviously, I got to pick up a little trash, but in this area right here, there's a good chance that I'm going to be getting a little bit of shading, maybe some sun. I'm definitely going to have to see where the sun goes overhead, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be going right over here. So I'm going to be getting a lot of sun come through here. This entire area is going to be incredibly hot, all the way to the back of this fence. And I'll probably be getting decent shade in the morning, noontime, but I'm pretty sure it's going to get really hot back here. So water conservation is definitely going to be extremely important to me. That's why using pit moss is just going to be so essential through this entire growing season. And as you can see, this annoying dog right over there just keeps barking when I just need a little bit of quietness, but no big deal. What I'm going to do this year is I'm going to be putting up a center portion right here. Come in right here, and I'm actually going to be putting in lattices to go ahead and just block this entire area. I might even, who knows, possibly put some white lattices right here to also block that as well. So when I come back into my garden, I'm not seeing anything except for my garden. And hopefully through this process, I'll be able to create a little bit better environment. So I don't know if you can start to see it transform. All the soil we have here. Let's go ahead and walk to the back. And this is just unfolding. This is kind of how I imagine potters right there, and then we're gonna plant right here. We'll have like a center pot. Probably have our potatoes going right here, and then we're gonna have our new grow beds right there. And from that point, we'll see where we're at, but it should look pretty good. Okay, so the key to growing a successful crop is going to be beneficial bacteria and fungi to create coenzymes for the trace minerals, which I always recommend, drops of balance right here. A consistent watering environment, so I'm going to actually be using a self-watering seed starter. Highly recommend this as well. And then you're going to be excess CO2, and that's how OrganiShield works. OrganiShield is actually a pesticide fungicide, but because it uses natural plant esters, it actually breaks into water, CO2, and sugars. So by the combination of all of these products, including these, all of these products each have different discount codes, links down below. I should be able to get my seeds started and going pretty successfully. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Talk to you guys soon. Show you the results in a few weeks.
You know, little did some people know that you can use this to consume in other ways, not just smoking, which is obviously super popular. You know, people could come and experience like an event where you come and you dine, essentially, eat, but what you eat is infused or has, you know, cannabis in it to some degree.